Hey, what's up? How are things tonight? I'm getting right to business tonight. I kind of got into the sketch before I started streaming, so I already finished the pencils. But nothing really new or exciting. A few days. Like I said, I think I needed to take a rest over the weekend. I was doing a lot of work all week. Need to find some new nibs on the internet. Yeah, I got a picture planned in Photoshop for it. I kind of have to think of the colors, and it's going to be tough because I have to draw hands in like a position, not like that. I'm not very good at hands. It's been a while since I draw any anatomy, really, but I'll give it a shot. I seen your entry. I liked it. The shark in it. Hey, Joy. Thanks for joining me tonight. Kind of looks like a hand. I seen your entry in the challenge, Joy. I liked it. I think we're gonna have the same favorite food. I think I'll have to go with pizza too. Oh, right on. Are you out, like out for the evening or working or? I guess I should share my stream on the Discords. I'll do it after I run out of ink on this one. It's not working very well tonight. Let me try this guy. Hmm. Hey Wander, how are you? I took a nap the other day. I am usually not much of a napper myself, but I'm feeling like it more and more these days, to be honest. That's what I need to get is, well, first I get a good camera, but a mic wouldn't hurt either. Apparently my microphone on my computer I'm using has AI noise canceling, where it can detect stuff in the background that's not my voice, and it doesn't seem to do the greatest job, but Seems to cause my voice to kind of pop in and out sometimes, depending on how loud I am. Yes, your voice is sometimes is off of it. Yeah, it seems like it, when I listen back to a few streams, it kind of cuts me out early or doesn't bring it in enough. And I think it's from that AI canceling, because otherwise it seems like it's loud enough in general. Yeah, your whatever you're using now, if it's just your phone Phantom, it still sounds pretty good. Those small mics, those little tiny things with like the foam on it, and people attach it to the side of your shirt, or like a microphone you hold in your hand. You mean? My my laptop gets pretty hot water when I go into Photoshop while I'm streaming. You can actually hear it like revving up, and if you feel the side, it gets awfully hot. Sounds like an airplane getting ready to take off. I'd like to get a new camera. Be the main thing. Something you can't even see my pencils when I draw. I can always see your pencil score. Both you guys, in fact. Hey, Archie. I seen you streaming before, Archie, and you're using the green ruler. That's the same kind that I have, a little cheap plastic one. Where's that? Kind of like when the roofs warp in just a little bit. Not in real life. Yeah, that's true. I think I got it in like a pack of three, and there was a green plastic one and like a blue plastic one, and another one. From the dollar around here, it's the dollar store. No, it's the Dollar Rama, actually. Dollar something, anyway. Nib is starting to get scratchy. Something else I often get from the dollar store that are my favorite, like fine liner pens, or just these cheaper anyway, Sharpie pens, or like a 0.5 fine liner, waterproof, so you can paint over them. Or you can spend a fortune on like the micron pens. But for me, I'm fine with the Sharpie ones. The only thing is with the one around my house is that it's not really the dollar RAM anymore. Everything is like up to $7, $6, $7 now. I know there's lots of things I see, like the average price seems to be $4 more than it's a dollar anymore. But then, because it's a dollar store, there's no refunds. Just kind of freehanding in these windows tonight. Really? I guess we're getting a bad deal in Canada. The Dollarama or Rama. They never ever had refunds, but it used to be at least that, the most expensive thing will be like $3 or something. I know the American dollar is worth more, but it's not by that much. Okay, give me 1 minute, guys, because I keep forgetting to post the stream on the Discords. I'm halfway completed for that. Maybe not halfway, but. Oh, thanks, Wander. Wander always remembers to post my stream. All right. find gnarled trees can be both really easy, but doing the very like the most extreme branches can be a little tough. It's easy to make one look really bad. Like that. You're just getting extra scratchy. Oh, hey, Wander. I don't know if you were around before I said thanks for hosting my stream. You'll always remember before I do. So, are you doing Phantom's Challenge, Wonder? Oh, thank you. That's cool that you get to travel. I rarely travel away from home myself. I think I was out of the country once. I don't think. I know. I can zoom in a bit. I said I only traveled once outside of my country. It was to Florida when I was a kid for Disney World. I traveled within Canada a bit. Within, I think, grade one. So I was what, like 11, 12? Less than that, I think. 8? However old you are in grade one. Remember, I really enjoyed it. I think actually, in hindsight, I enjoyed Universal more. It was me and my mom when we did both. But we stayed right in the Disney park, and that was awesome. But yeah, Universal is really cool too. Oh yeah, I seen your video where you went to the Van Gogh. What is it, like the Van Gogh experience? I'd love to go there one day and see that. Just got to get famous first. You know what I really find I like a lot about streaming online is that it kind of forces me to sit down and finish the whole picture in one sitting. And I notice when I draw on my own, I'm more apt, like I'll pencil it in and take like a 10-minute break and then start inking it and then take a 10-minute break and then get distracted. Then it's like a 30-minute break and then I'm too lazy to color it. So at least I find with streaming online, at the very least, it's kind of forcing me to sit down and finish pictures. So that's one advantage to it anyway. With Windows seem really off. I think I just have a general like procrastination habits, and like I said, I'll put it off. I'll finish it in chunks and take breaks, but then I'll get distracted in my breaks and put it off longer. And then you put it off long enough where you say, "Oh, I might as well finish it tomorrow." And then tomorrow comes and you want to do something else. My experience, stuff like that is usually almost like a type of stress or an anxiety more than it is actually being lazy. I'm gonna pencil in a little scarecrow again. Oh my god. I have to look up a picture of a scarecrow so I figure what they look like. Scarecrow. They wear pointy hats. It seems like way too big, actually. He won't be able, it's bigger than the door. A scarecrow. Proportions are hard, and perspective is hard. What's up, cutie? Thank you. There's a scarecrow way back there. I need to do something with that roof and kind of mess it up a little bit. Where are this pen's like? I really need to replace my pen nibs, but they're kind of hard to get. I use a Hunt 103. These are kind of way off, but they're also kind of supposed to be messy. Yeah, I've been on a kind of a haunted house kick lately. I don't know if you've seen my last few drawings, Poophead. You might have seen that one. That was the last watercolor one I did. More of a church than a haunted house. That one's a haunted house. Let me zoom in a little bit. Here we go. There's a skull in a haunted house. A little crow in the tree. And then the other one's my tower picture. That's the one I was telling you, Wander, where it's like this part here, if you look, the perspective accounts for height too. So it's like it gets smaller and taller, or smaller the farther away from the eye line. But then when it gets to here, it just kind of goes into a flat 2D perspective. I kind of like it in the 2D one better. Frozen Ravens are really smart. They do come out like old pictures. It's ink wash, so it's just I'm taking regular black ink and putting different amounts of water mixed in to get it gray. And yeah, they kind of come out like a creepy. That's why they work good with haunted house type pictures. I think kind of have like a eerie atmosphere to them. But yeah, I think I need a like a perspective refresher. Kind of a gothic thing I got going on. I didn't really try it. It just seems to be the pictures that's suited for my medium, I guess. It's not really though, because I do it in watercolor too. You should give me a quest book with some locations like that. I should do a fantasy, it's like a dark fantasy, I don't know, setting. I kind of hate trying to separate paths on grass because sometimes it just seems you can kind of just draw lines until you get far back and then do watercolor. Do the trees detail after. The sky is going to be a bit of a challenge in this one with all that stuff in the way. Hey, artfully becoming. Thanks for stopping in. Real life quest locations. So does then they go ahead first and put a ring there? Or is it just totally pretending? Right, but like, that'd be fun. Where I'm from on the East Coast, it's not unlike Maine in the States, where all Stephen King books are based. I'm gonna need to get water because I have real brushes tonight. Oh, I smeared my ink. I did that with the eraser? I don't think I ever done that before. I mean, I smudged ink before, but I don't think I ever did it with the kneaded eraser. A little happy accent. I'll have to check out your channel later, artfully. That'd be cool as an idea for like a Halloween instead of like a haunted house. To send the people on a haunted quest, I guess. Feel it much. What kind of art do you like to do, artfully? Or maybe I should say, what kind of medium do you like to work with? Okay. We kind of turned your little comment into a big long explanation on your part. Well, that's cool. I'm doing or I'm going to try watercolor right now. Since I ink it first, I like covering just a little bit of the edges, just to give it a cool little effect. Okay, like urban sketching. I do stuff not unlike that. I'll show you some pictures I did there artfully. That one. I think that one's a bit better. I just have my other book out. I also do ink washes, which is just like watercolor, but instead of watercolor paints, you're using diluted ink, so you're just adding water to get gray tones. But it works just like watercolor. I did that one. And then I also did that one in ink wash. It has a real high contrast shadow. Thank you. I drew a lot when I was younger, but mostly just kind of doodling and just for hobbies. I did a few little watercolors and stuff over the years, but I never really stuck to it. So I'm hoping I can at least finish these two books I have with watercolors, one with watercolors and one with ink washes. I'm also trying to learn more about mixing watercolors. So I'm using a limited palette. Usually it would have lots more paints than this, but I'm just using a warm and cool version, everything, and then four neutrals. So that's why I have such a small color palette going on there. How successful I am at learning to mix it is in question as of yet, though. Yeah, this one here I did with waterproof ink. And I usually I'll do with some light pencils, I'll use the waterproof ink, and then for the ink washes, I'll use non-waterproof ink that I mix in with water. Windsor, no. One sec. I'm just looking at my drawing. There's the waterproof ink that I use, so it doesn't the lines don't get blurred. And then this is the non-waterproof ink I use for ink washes. But I only recently started using that. I usually always use this stuff. Speedball Super Black. Just because usually this is a bit cheaper and you get 2 ounces, where those ones you only get 1 ounce. But they've been having a sale for all the inks for $5 at the art store lately. These are usually like $15, 15 to 20. So I've been stocking up on them why they're only $5. It might be the same. I don't know what they tattoo with, but it's just what they call like Indian ink, which usually is lamp oil ink. Like you get soot left over from burning oil and mix that with a binder with water, and that's kind of your standard ink. Oh, am I lagging? OBS always tells me I have 0 drop frames, but apparently that's not always true. Alright. I need to grab water. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry, I grabbed a little snack. Your trees are spooky. Very good too. Thank you. I'm going for a kind of gnarled tree there. I've been gone for 10 seconds and I miss them. Lag was just like 5 seconds. Might have been a little server hiccup there. And it was a great price. I'm a little worried how good of a price it is that it might be like a clearance. Because they don't seem to get ink nibs anymore. These little pen nibs, I should call them, not ink nibs. I'll have to make my own with a pop sand. You can pay me for a CAD idea and you don't have to trust me. You can just we can work on it and then you can pay me when we have a finished design. That's what I would do anyway. I got no brushes. Can you have some of my ink? No, I don't know, man. I'm pretty greedy with my inks. I'll sell you a bottle of ink for $6. Although I'd probably pay on the shipping then. I need to put water in these. Oh, can you have some snacks? I have these things, banana marshmallows. I end up eating too much with the name out. Child. Wait. Oh, excuse me. I'm chewing with my mic on. Wander does a lot of really good. I guess I'd call it like abstract art. Your pattern art. I seen like a sketchbook tour you did, Wander, and I really liked. There was like the Stifling one. I think it was your high school sketchbook. Some potassium. Delicious. These have 0 milligrams of potassium. Uh, they do have 0 grams of everything except for sugar. They have 35 grams, and they have 1 big gram of protein. That's why I eat them. Protein. What am I doing? Make the house. Well, they're banana candies. They're not really candies. They're just yellow marshmallow. So I want kind of a beige. I guess it's yellow. lemon yellow. Where's my paper? I need a test for them. I'm already regretting the limited palette. Big corp trying to keep us from true bananas. Makes me sick. How do you keep your brush pointy anytime I paint it with the brushes I use? So these ones are actually new ones. But I do have this guy who's kind of pointy. And they get pointier when they're wet. And he's a good, I don't know, like 5 years old now. But these little plastic things help. But you have to kind of have them wet to make sure you get them in them right. Otherwise they kind of fray. But I think they say the main thing is making sure that you always wash your brushes before paint dries right at the edge there. That's where they cause problems. Yeah, that's cool, Artfully. Thanks for stopping in and subscribing. Get up at 4 a.m. That's rough. Thanks for stopping by anyway. I appreciate it. This whole week slammed with 7:30 to 3 a.m. shifts. That kind of sucks. I used to work, I got home at 3 a.m. And I remember kind of enjoying those. I used to walk home and it'd be so quiet and calm. Oh, sorry, I didn't read your chat there. Yeah, I believe it's Wanderlust Art. That is correct, Mr. Hoophead. Do you do any art, Hoophead? Or do you put anything on YouTube? I don't think I ever checked your channel. I'm gonna mute this so you don't hear me choose. What about your channel? I have to go to my live stream on my desktop to join my own live stream. It's kind of shaky, the cameras. Yellow and red kind of look like shit. Why isn't the chat coming up? What? My video feed kind of looks like an old VHS. I think from the 90s. There we go. Poophead. Go to Poophead's channel. Oh, you don't have any videos. You just have a music playlist. Good music. No, don't? Okay, sorry. I won't. Poophead kind of does sound like a dummy account, to be honest. Try something burnt. I'm gonna say burnt umbra, but it's burnt sienna, the most famous of all paints. I use this paint a lot to mix with other paints. Yellow ochre. That's too orange. Now I notice with watercolors, people always use two things of water, like a clean one and a dirty one. But you don't really need it, because the water never gets that dirty, like to affect your new paint. Unless you're painting, I guess, a big giant thing. Uh, I don't know. That's a good question. Um, I know my art used to be a lot worse, and then it seemed to got a lot better when I kind of stopped caring about making good art. I'll tell you the secret to drawing. It's that everybody, when you first learn how to use a pen or pencil, you're taught you're taught how to print, right? So you're taught these little tiny movements with your fingers and wrists with these specific straight lines. So when people try to draw like that, you get these really, I don't know, amateur wobbly looking lines. The real trick to drawing is you have to unlearn that and learn how to use like your elbow and shoulder. And you kind of lock your wrist and fingers and just kind of do nice sweeping lines. I'll still use my wrists when I'm doing details, but like I'll often hold my pencil way up here and just kind of do it somewhat stiffly. But as far as painting, I don't know. I don't know why watercolor specifically. Probably just because it's the easiest to prep for. I know I wouldn't want to do oil paints where you have to deal with like paint thinner. I have a Zentangle book my sister gave me. It's kind of, it's not too bad, like in terms of texture. Some of them can apply to actual real art. That's one of the. I'm glad um, that helps because that's one of the first things that seem to be I notice with like people who are new at drawing, and even when they get good at it, they get really good at details, but their art always feels, I don't know, it's like stiff. They get really good at drawing people in stiff poses, standing still. Skill, baby, you got it. I'm gonna try some contrasting. So the contrast of, I guess, brownish orange will be bluish green. This is a powerful paint though. We'll need a lot of this. And a little bit of this. Let's see if this gives me my color I'm looking for. Because the green, as long as it doesn't overpower, it should kind of neutralize the yellow and bring it towards gray. Instead it made it green. Ooh, more. It's like a mustard color now. The drawbox exercises. I never seen that. I kind of like watching my own videos back in 2 times speed, or like scanning through it and watching my hand go with the lines. Like, I guess I could record myself and put it in fast forward. That would have been probably the color, but I think it's too late now. They have to. I'll have to look into that. I've been looking for some, like even something like a quick review of fundamentals. Oh, you're getting ahead of me. So when you were drawing the house, I just saw a house, a creepy house now with the color. It looks more like an abandoned house. Yeah, kind of wish it was creepier. More creepy, less abandoned, but it's okay. I don't know what song's actually playing. I'm listening to different music with my headphones. I'm only causing, making you guys suffer by listening to my music. I couldn't stand listening to my own music for 2 hours. Hey, graphic. So, you want to do it live, although it's very repetitive. I think you have to find time work, check for sure. If you guys tag along, like doing the same with me, it would be fun. Yeah, the color kinda normalized it, I guess. I was going for a green color, but that's why I started using a limited palette to teach myself this stuff. You win some, and you lose some. I actually wasn't really feeling this picture right when I started drawing it. And I don't think I'm going to, but it's the lessons that you learn that are important. I gotta do something with that roof. That's gonna drive me nuts. Wanderlicious. Turns out after you use a lot of colors and you need a brown, you can just kind of mix everything on your palette together and you'll almost certainly get a brown. A brown or a really ugly dark green. Did you see my work in past for fan? I don't want to look at it. I want to see it when see your picture when it's finished. You guys want to peek at my picture for uh, Phantom's challenge? I'll show you why he's not here. Don't tell him. So, mine's in pencil. I'll try to get it good. But my fear is going blind. And my favorite animal is a crow. So I have 2 crows covering my eyes. And then I have a sword. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a pizza slice going through the sword. Phantom's here. He would have said something when I said something. Although he might not have. He told me before him and Joy are out. So anyway, there's my little gimmick. Poophead, I missed that before. What colors make it like silver or gray? Well, silver's like a gray. If you mix your 3 primary colors together, you'll get a gray. And if you mix any 2 contrasting colors, you'll get a gray. You can get a gray basically by neutralizing colors. You couldn't see the sketch? I'll try it again one more time. You're not just saying that because you're telling your message graphic told them to have a peek with you. So, there's the sword going through a pizza slice. My hands, and then the idea is to have 2 crows on my shoulders and they're covering my eyes. That is going to be pixelated. Did you guys, I don't know if you can see it, but it causes a weird wavy effect if there's too much white on the camera. In fact, Poopet, I've heard artists often say that you should never use like black or Payne's gray. If you want a good gray, you should do it by like mixing red, blue, and yellow. Yeah, red, blue, and yellow together. Your 3 primaries, and you get kind of a richer, more interesting gray. Yeah, it does look like it. It looks like when they would record old computer screens, they do that. Speaking of gray, I think I might try to put a little bit with that brown. God, that color takes right over. See, just mix it with everything. You can get it brown every time. This will do. One stupid stray here. Black and black makes neon purple. I want to talk to crows or corvids. Yeah, I seen a thing where crows, if there's like something they want to eat and it's in a hole they can't reach, they know that they can fill the hole up with water to get the thing to float up to them. I feel like if I was starving, there's a good chance that I wouldn't even think of that. No, I'm pretty sure black and black just makes black. Graphics, a sarcastic fella. This is what I try to do because I suck at mixing colors. Is I put one on one side and just kind of slowly take it in until it gets close to the color I want. I wonder if that's shaded there. Yeah, that's fine. To try to bring that down in value. I don't know what I'm going to do with the windows. Paint them black. Oh, I know one thing else I can do with them. Get a little bit of full red. I've seen a raven use an air compressor before. Wow. I read that before about them where they drop nuts so cars would crack them open. Is it crows? Or is it a different bird that steals like blue, anything blue, and they decorate their nest with them? And they'll go and steal like blue marbles and blue rocks and anything they find. My watercolor water kind of looks like orange juice, apple juice more. I don't know how I feel about the shadow. I wonder if I can soften the edge there a bit. Phantom Pain said hi. We're back, boys. Try not to a little bit, but you're kind of making it obvious. Am I lagging? Or do you just think that because I'm not doing it? I'm reading the chat and cleaning my brush. Oh, you didn't see my picture, did you? I'm gonna put water on that line, though, and I forgot about it. Oh, okay. I'm a character. Good thing. Yeah, just water, and if you really, like you said, if you got any, you think any watercolor might have dried up in the bristles, you can just use regular hand soap and just kind of run it through good, give it a good rinse. That's true, Wander. It's burnt umber. It's dry as hell. You need those grippers. I have no idea how I'm going to deal with the sky without these branches. Feeling it's going to be a quick and easy one. Not going to be many clouds. Calling for sunny weather today at the creepy house. Why would AI go first? What happened to my music? My music always stop on. No wonder I can't draw tonight. My music's not playing. It's too watery. Whoa, I missed a lot in the chat. Team 6-1, man. Just tell women too. Your quest. Anthony and Graphic been doing quests. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. What quest? Picking up women? Well, he said he was doing it for you, so you shouldn't be picking up women. Are any of you guys planning on streaming tonight? I think there's trees drying. Yeah, graphics shouldn't be on a quest to pick up women either. I'll probably be finished soon. I just hit 2 hours. Remember all my pictures I used to finish in 2 hours? Well, why'd I add water first before having it ready? It's okay, I'll always cherish the memories we had. Graphic might stream, and I might join. No one ever streams with me. I don't have a girl to stream with. You're a real estate agent. Can time what you selling me this location? What's the story? I don't know. We'll have to get Itoli, Itoli in here to come up with the story for us. What am I mixing green with here? Add a bit of water on the edges there to soften them. And then we're going back to brown for the past one. Let's see if I can neutralize this. Dang, I gotta maintain the grass, you know, how much work that is, Ken. I gotta scroll up. Oh, that reminds me of the mushroom quest thing a Glassy shared some time ago. I forgot until now. Oh, Phantom's talking to me. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how we can do our dual stream with your audio working. I think I might know what I was doing wrong because I usually mute the computer's volume itself. So I wonder if I forgot to unmute it for you, and that's why it wasn't working through Discord. We will have to see. Oh, I got to scroll down. Let's see, where am I? Think I got a crazy cool couple strokes and you had land, yeah. I got your graphic. What happened, what you want to know, Don. Just like moving your hand and bam, a dirt road is there. It's so cool. You're just laying paint down with the brush, right? Although that gotta be the worst grass and dirt road I've made in a long time, to be honest. It's a pretty flat, ugly looking grass. If this was a Phantom he'd go in with this little the water brush and start doing individual little strokes to get detail out of it, which I might have to do with my pen. Right now, I want a dark green. Put my dark green before my light green. Yeah, I forgot the root there. Hey, sorry, I'm behind again. Where do you come up with this stuff? Do you just like wake up and are like, I see this? Not so much. I kind of just get good at drawing like individual elements, and then I just try to put them together in a picture. So I have lots of pictures of random, just like gnarled trees that I doodle on my own time, and I've done a million little these like perspective houses. I have my shadow, blend it right in there. Where'd my shadow go? Someone took my shadow. Or did I even put a shadow there? And I'm just hallucinating. Anyway, yeah. But sometimes I just kind of start something and see where it goes and just add stuff as I think of it. I'll look up references for objects on the internet. So I didn't for any of this picture, but like if I needed something specific with that house, I might look up pictures of that specific house just to see how it's shaped. But other than that, I don't really draw anything more than a simple, cubical shapes, basically. So they're not that hard to put in different perspectives with your imagination, which I think is the hardest thing about drawing. Think how hard a hand is to draw. You have like, one plane, 2 planes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You have at least 17, and if you count the palm, maybe you got it on a weird angle, at least 17, 18 different planes that you all have to keep relative to one another. That's why hands are a nightmare to learn how to draw. I need to put a shadow there. Not even the right color, and just start laying stuff down. Another thing I learned about drawing is your shapes can be super simple as long as you got the shading and highlights right. People don't really care if it's just made out of real simple, undetailed shapes. Sometimes, like with those trees, I just put in enough information that you can tell it's a tree, and that's about it. This guy needs more shadows, I think. Um, so I was talking along as you kept asking questions. Do you use other things to help references? Black grass is still good, exists. You go through that. Flat strokes, eh? I don't even get the innuendo on that one. Bro's got the eye like that. Ooh, snap, that's cool. Someone told my shadow. It is simple once you get the hang of it. It's just getting the muscle memory engraved in your brain, I guess that's the tough part. Sounds like Peter Pan. I haven't got my shadow. Do people where you were? No, you draw this good? No. Two guys know that I draw. Because I told them I started doing watercolors again. Try to relax my mind after work. I'm a pretty good drawer. I clearly have a lot to learn about watercolor painting. Mixing colors. A lot of people I work with who draw, I had to walk in on them drawing, they never say anything. I don't understand, like, bro, you're good. Short will be out in a half an hour. Cool. I should be done before then. So I'll be able to watch your short. I think I'm just going to add some details with my pen for the grass and the path, throw some rocks and stuff in there. And I know for the sky, I'm going to have to do something simple because I'm not going to be able to get around these things. The problem with trees that are so branchy. Well, not branchy, gnarled. Put a big shadow in there. I start wetting my canvas or my paper before I actually have the paper ready. Trent, your earlier fan subbed to me, watched and commented on one of my videos, so thank you. Oh, that, what was it? Artful? Yeah, she said she subbed to me. So that's at least one viewer I have proof of that found me on the vertical stream. I mean, the analytics tell you there's probably a few people that came and just kind of, blazed by it. When can I move in? As soon as I finish this guy, you can't, home insurance won't cover it if there's no sky. Imagine, what is it? Home association people that everyone hates dealing with a house like this. We kind of have something like that where I live. I don't think it's home association, but I know people who end up with like leaving a lot of garbage laying around their yard will eventually get a fine. They'll be told they have like 2 months to get rid of it, or they're going to be fined for being unsightly. Which always seems kind of mean to me to tell someone else. It's like saying you have bad taste. You know, who are they to say it's unsightly? Maybe that person thinks their nice clean yard is unsightly. I'd say it's fair to say, 1 out of every 10 people I see in the vertical stream will stop and actually talk. And out of that, it's probably like 1 out of every 10 will actually stay and sub and be a fan. Like I was saying the Phantom that time, I think it'd be cool just to have, a few people kind of randomly show up and just see your things and, I don't know, like your art. Be influenced to make their own. I can't get watercolor wet on wet to work near as good as ink. When I work with ink, the wet on wet stuff works really well. With watercolor, it's like kind of quite. I wonder if it's my paints, maybe. Although I shouldn't blame stuff on my supplies. I just need to get used to using more water. Let's see if I can get any of these little nooks and crannies. I don't mind a nook, but I hate a cranny. I'm just joking. I don't know what they mean. What is a cranny? I don't know what a nook is. I think I'm starting to use the excuse of a live stream just to talk to myself. You're a cranny. Yeah, I was there one time. Or no, I was there afterwards. More of a nook than a cranny, really, when you think about it. No, he was telling me, or I heard him saying one time, how he got raided. I was on Twitch for a while, and I never got a single viewer. And now I got the portrait view working for YouTube's, what they call the shorts wheel or the live vertical thing. What they call it? I just said it before. But anyway, they say for Twitch, you need to be the opposite. You need to be horizontal, and there's a way you can do both on PC. But lately, to figure it out. I'm happy with YouTube. Party time. Yeah, the portrait mode, but the you getting portrait mode to work lets you be advertised to people who are scrolling through live streams. Where if it's vertical, I don't think that works, or it only works on TV or something. I think Drew or Artsy mentioned one time. Anyway, I think maybe I should consider watching some lessons on watercolor or sticking to the ink washes. Cause that's some ugly color. Looks like something a kid draws. Color-wise, I mean. Not to be harsh on myself. It's just not as subtle as my last watercolor in terms of colors. There you go. Vertical shorts feed. Yeah, because it happens when you go on YouTube Shorts, and eventually you come across a live, and then if you click that and scroll, you'll always be on lives. Was Prism Studio in desktop? I didn't know Prism had a desktop version. Maybe I should check that out. Yeah, I guess it works. It must work on Twitch enough for him to get seen and recommended. Now that you mention it. It's 2012. I was stream too lazy. Where's my ink? I don't have my ink jar because I used it for water. I have to be careful not to spill this. This will be totally the time I spill it. Fate usually dictates. Oh, I forgot the color in the windows. Uh, you see, every time you wipe your palette, I suffer so much. How come? Just from wasting the paint? It's only a little palette. I don't have that much room. Poop head. I gotta go to work. I can't wait to come back to my new home. Stay safe, wandering cat, and thank you guys for tips. Yeah, you should try to do it. I mean, I don't think I'll ever really get big at YouTube for art or anything, but I enjoy it. Like I said, I find it kind of meditative. It's great after working in the day to have something I just don't have to think too hard on, and I kind of sit down and enjoy it, even when they don't come out nice. I'm gonna fill these windows in and call it done anyway. It's late now, but I guess I could have done like a little diagonal space, like a line, to make it look like a reflection. Something like that. But I can't just have it in one. Maybe I can. Yeah. Might have worked if I did it without. And that is finished. Yeah, I can throw it out the window. Why did you say you suffer when I wipe my palette clean? From wasting paint, you mean? Waste of material. Well, what am I supposed to do with it? You know, it's the mix on top. I would assume that would cause it to mix together, especially with watercolor. Like with acrylic, maybe, because then you kind of sit it on top of each other. But I've seen oil painters where their palette is like just big gobs of paint mixed together. But I don't know. That's pretty thin watercolor to try that with. I do have a palette with a ton of like where I took like the liquid tubes and squished out too much that I have saved, and I actually used some of them for this. I kind of just broke chips off and threw it in there, which is why some of them kind of got a broken up chunky look. Yeah, but you said you mix on top of them. Like, what if I had I don't know, all yellow here, and then I need a blue. I don't want that yellow to mix with my blue. I don't have that much room to mix on it. I guess I could get another one. I do have my little plate. I have this little tiny, tiny palette. day or tell my dating is day months. So it is 4/5/25. Be free. You do you, boo. No, I'm like that too. I have weird little things. It's funny Poop had mentioned it before, because I mentioned the Phantom one time. My biggest pet peeve are people who draw on the internet and their thumb like ends up way over here because they have like such a tight vice grip on the pencils. And there are always the people who will draw good pictures and then be like, "Oh, I don't know why my characters are so stiff and straight looking though." And probably because you have a vice grip onto your pencil when you drew them. So that annoys me. But then there's lots of people who also do that I've seen draw a million times better than I ever will. So whatever works for you is how you gotta do art, I guess. I'll have to think of something for tallies. I was thinking for like if I get to 50 subs, I can have a special. I'll call it the copyright claim special, where I'll just play copyrighted music and draw whatever other people want me to draw, and then I can just not keep it on YouTube if I get in trouble for it. In the wrist, well, you shouldn't draw from the wrists unless you really have to. I do the shoulder and the elbow, but yeah, I guess I do the wrist like hatching. Good trick too is just to hold your pencil up here because it kind of forces you to be loose. But all the looseness in the world can't save me from this color scheme I got going on here. It's like someone tried to make a nice picture, but drew creepy stuff. That tone works well with the ink washes, but not so much, I think, with the. Well, we'll work with watercolors. I just need to get better at mixing them. That worked, but this little thing that was almost monochromed. Rust. Yeah, kinda. That's not rustic. I just don't like it's almost like primary colors. A little too vivid. That would look good in more of like a sepitone, however you say that. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Look how bad the black stands out. Or, I guess because it wouldn't be pitch black inside, even if it didn't have electricity. There'd be light bouncing off the wall, so. Poophead's house, he claimed it. Did you notice there's a scarecrow? Right there. Hello. Can you tell that it's midnight where I am and I'm falling asleep? I kind of want to draw this guy on the ink box. He's a spider with a man's face, a top hat. He has a little, not a protractor, triangle ruler, a little nib pen, a little fountain pen, a little jar of ink, another nib pen, paintbrush with ink on it, and then his 2 feet. That'd be good. You know what it needs? It's some crows up in those trees. I think I'm going to start a thing where at the beginning of every stream, I'm going to look at my last picture and criticize it and say things so maybe it will register in my head. Because I keep saying I need to learn stuff and then don't bother, like mixing watercolors and using a limited palette. I kind of self-sabotage myself there because I didn't have to use a limited palette. Yeah, I do have these. I have this thing where I added a whole bunch of extra colors in it. And I also have this beast. So it's not, oh, there's a thing. That's what I was using to break up paint, the steel to put in the other palette. Oh, we'll keep that actually. Yeah, that's perfect. 4 blues, 4 greens. But professionals say you don't need that. Even as this thing. You can hold it like that. You better check your Bob Ross. Freaking yellow ogre flying around everywhere. I think every household should have a family graveyard. Also, would that be kind of confusing when people move, I guess? Weird. So hey, graphic, what kind of brush do you use for inking? This seems to be the best one I ever found for a good price anyway. Robert Simmons Sapphire, and apparently it's not 100% sable here. It's something like 50% synthetic, 50% like actual sable hair, which is supposed to be the best for inking. I'm saying that funny. Sable hair. It's number 6, I believe, or 4. I don't know, I can't see because the tape's over it. But it's an extra point, which I guess means extra fine point. This brand is good too. Yeah, well, I guess it's Windsor and Newton Cotton, but I only have this big one. No, that's a number 2. So the other one was probably a 6 or a 4. Humane horsehair one. That's probably sable hair. That's like the main thing they say they use for inking brushes. Oh, that's a horrible joke. These, I don't know if you can tell how cheap these brushes are. It says Artist Lot Necessity brand. You know you're hard up when you're springing for the Necessity brand. Ooh, the size of that guy. He told I usually does like dad jokes. That was more like a drunk uncle joke. Yeah, I'm all finished up, so I'm heading off. I don't know if you just got here, Coley. Sometimes you lurk, I think. Um, that's my picture. I'm not very happy with the colors. Thanks, Wander. Thanks for stopping in and chatting. I appreciate it. These are, those necessity ones actually aren't too bad for watercolor, but they don't seem to hold paint very long, I'm pretty sure. I imagine because they're, cheap necessity freaking brushes that they're probably all synthetic. But yeah, this one's definitely my favorite, which is why I bothered to save it by putting tape on it. Like I said, it's like 5 years old. You can see it has bits of bristles that got so bent I couldn't save them, so I just trimmed them off so they're not in the way. And I still use it. I used it for that last 2 ink washes I did. Anything with sable here seems to be the best. Yeah, it's okay. I few dirty jokes of my own. But I'm not going to say them on the stream and get myself demonetized before I'm ever pro-monetized. Anyway, I'm gonna go smoke and then brush my teeth and then go to bed. Fucking work tomorrow. That sucks. Kind of sucks finishing drawing and then not really have time to relax. Watch a show or something. Your guy's fault. Keeping me up all hours, making me drop. Well, anyway, I almost got the 3 hours tonight. And I gotta empty out friggin' water. There's my water usage tonight. That's a lot of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. I guess I can take Wander's advice and leave it out in the sun and let the water evaporate and just get the leftover paint in it. Anyway, guys, have a good night. Sleep's tight. Don't get eaten by earwigs or something. Peace. Oh, I gotta put my outro on. Sorry.